Hi guys, and welcome to the third and final Torrside beer for this week as part of my brewery showcase series. If you've not already seen the previous episodes and the live stream, then I'll put the links down below. Don't waste your time with the live stream though, because a lot of it is pretty much dead air, and then I do get nice activity in the comments. So yeah, if you just want to sit there and watch me sit on a floor talking utter tripe, then you are welcome to do so. Links down below. And I've pointed up with my thumbs. You work that one out. Anyway, so the final beer for this week, and won't be the last one that we review, is the Whistling in the Dark, which is a dark mild. I do love a nice dark mild. Picked this up from Northern Beer Temple, paid £3 for it, and yeah, 500ml glass. And because it's a mild, I've got to use the correct glassware. I'm sorry, I'm a traditionalist. I have just been voted as Prime Minister, so I'm trying to keep it as British as possible. Please take that comment with a grain of salt. But I've got to get used to it now. If I thought getting called Boris Johnson every now and then was going to become tedious, now that he's in the spotlight because he's ruling our country, I better get used to it again. Although, use it to my powers, because I'm sure there are people who sure there are some ladies out there who are just craving to get a piece of Boris, but home and bargains, always get yourself a nice bargain. And I am the home and bargains version of Boris Johnson, but I'm not a Tory. Anyway, so, not that I give two flying fucks if you're a Tory, or if you're voting Labour, or if you're a Green Party, or whatever. As long as you treat me with respect and we can have a nice conversation, I don't care what your political beliefs are, because I'm not a twat like a lot of people are, who basically cry and moan and literally throw punches based on political allegiances. Anyway, soapbox well and truly kicked from underneath my feet. Beer in a glass, and it's exactly what you want. Lovely, pretty much jet black appearance, a nice creamy 2 fingers worth of a beige head. I could have poured it all in, don't know why I didn't. I've got to say though, it is extremely warm today, and the beers have warmed up quite quickly, so I probably should have started off this with this one first when it was a bit more chilled, but I don't care. I love a nice mild, and yeah, I thought I'd give this one a go. So let's see what we get on the nose. It smells so good. Sweet. Plums, raisins, figs. Dense chocolate cake. Even like a Jamaica cake in there as well. Brown sugar caramelised. It's not too like caster sugar vibrant sweetness or synthetic sweetness. It's like dense, cakey, porridgey, nutty. Oh, it's so aromatic. There's just something about milds that 3.6%, but they're just so full of character. And I don't know how you can get like these big imperial stouts that are just bland as fuck, but you can get I'm just going off the nose, of course. But that's even got like a very slight smokiness, which excites me, because Torrside are like one of the masters of smoked malt here in the UK. But yeah, that's just smelling fantastic. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Yeah, that's exactly what I want with a mild. Don't get me wrong, I'd like it to be a little bit more creamier, but I know for its ABV, it's got such a nice satisfying body. And even though it is slightly chilled, it's not at room temperature yet, it's still such a lovely beer. And at 3.6, I've always found that milds get really filling as well, but in a good way. But yeah, this is ticking all the boxes of what this style should be. You'd almost think that they've used smoked malts in this at some point. And there's thunder, because the craft gods are looking down on me, and going to punish me eternally for my praising of the mild. But yeah, it's cakey. It's even got a little bit of a dark, crusty, wholemeal rye breadiness to it. But then you get very subtle, almost like stem ginger sort of flavour, but without the heat. Lovely bitter aftertaste on this one. Oh yeah, this is just... I could just drink this beer all day. I really could. And I think... I don't know why more breweries don't do milds. I really don't. It's... From what I've learnt, it's such an inexpensive beer to make. But yeah, it's so full of flavour. I mean, yeah, you'll get some of like the bigger macro stuff that you get in pubs where it's like chilled down ridiculously, where those flavours are masked. But they have like a creaminess about them, which I would really like in this. But again, it's in a bottle form. I'm sure if this was on cask or in keg, chilled down slightly, it would be an even more satisfying drinking experience. But just the right amount of dark fruit character, just the right amount of cakey sweetness. Then you've got this. I'm convinced that there's smoked malts. Don't know if the lightning picked up then. I love this. I absolutely love this. Do you know what? I'm going to turn my fan off because I want that to be picked up on camera. I fucking love thunderstorms. I really do. I do. I absolutely love thunderstorms. I'm not talking to someone else, by the way. I'm recording this live as I'm doing this. God, it's got warm in here already. Just turning that fan off. I hope the microphone is picking it up. And that one is as well. But if you're in England, you're probably hearing that no matter where you are. Anyway, back onto the beer. Oh, this is ticking all the boxes. It really is. And now horrendous downpour. See, a lot of people, right, and this is going to the people watching this live and people watching this on videos, when something good happens, like the heavens usually open and it's like angelic clear blue skies, not a cloud anywhere. The heavens have opened up for me. The clouds have come in. It's chilled down slightly. It's thunder and lightning. It's pissing down. This is... I'm not a religious man. I really am not. But this to me is God looking down at me and saying, Peter, you're absolutely nailing it. You're absolutely nailing it. Wow. If it wasn't for your luxurious waters, my lord, I would not be able to drink this beer in the first place. Joking aside, this is genuinely a lovely beer. And it's going to sound crazy, but right now, in fact I can put that fan back on because it's muggy as fuck. Right now, at this moment, this is just perfection for me right now. And it's simple brewing, but it's so effective. And I've already had a pale ale with rye, and then an American bitter. But this, to me, it's a dark mild, but it's just so satisfying. And Torrside, they're masters of the smoked malt, and I've had so many really good, satisfying experiences with their darker beers. The Monster series, I'm not the biggest fan of. I had a few of those with Paul when he visited from PA Brew News. But this is just wonderful. It really, really is. This is my sort of beer to drink on a daily. And I better shut that window because I think there's rain coming in my room. But I don't care. If God is willing it, then God is willing it. Do you know what I mean? And I've got one of those floppy fringes now, but I don't care. Yeah, this to me is a 10 out of 10. It's just... That's why I love that style of beer. And even though it is slightly at room temperature, and I'm spilling it all over myself, rub it in, moisturise the legs, because I'm not wearing any pants, by the way. It's all coming out now. This is just wonderful. This is a wonderful, wonderful beer. And Paul, if you are watching either the video or live, when you come back to England, we'll have to go just on a crusade of mild beers, because it's such a wonderful style. It's filling me up. It's lunch and a beer in a beer, essentially. And yeah, fantastic stuff. Torrside, you've done a wonderful, wonderful job with that beer. I absolutely love it. So if you've tried this one, then let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you a fan of the brewery? Are you a fan of milds? Do you agree with me that more hype craft breweries should just do a simple mild? I know Cloudwater have, and I think a few others, notable breweries have done them as well. But I just think it's such an art form within the art form of brewing in general. And yeah, a mild. It just amazes me how flavoursome and robust a beer at 3.5% can be. That has such a reputation for being bland, you know, working men's club sort of, you know, after work on a Friday sort of beer. Which, what's wrong with that in the first place? Do you know what I mean? What's wrong with the guy who just wants to drink San Miguel all day after he's worked hard throughout the week? What's wrong with the, I'm going off stereotypes here now, but what's wrong with the man or woman who likes to enjoy a bottle of house Prosecco on a Friday night with their spouse? Do you know what I mean? I think we get to that point where we judge people too much on alcohol that they consume. Of course, there's like the extremes where people are like collapsed on the street with 10 bottles of white lightning surrounding them, but that's their choice. So, more power to them. Although, if you get to that point, please do seek help, because drinking one sip of that, I'm sure, is going to corrode your insides. But to devour bottle after bottle of white lightning, I said blue lightning, so out of touch. Typical, Tory Prime Minister. But yeah, drinking for Queen and country. Anyway, I think that's beautiful. It really, really is. And I think I want that to be the next big thing in beer. I want the mild. Not to be like the ironic, oh, I love Timothy Taylor. I love Landlord. Or like, oh, Bud Light is such a good beer. Although Bud Light to me is a genuinely good beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon though. I've got your back. But do you know what I mean? I don't want it to be popular in an ironic way. I want people to realise just how satisfying this simple, cost-effective brew can be. And because you are getting those roasty flavours that you might get in a porter or a stout. And I've had some imperial stouts recently, which promise you the world, but when you drink them, you're like, this is boring. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this is just a 3.5% mild, and it's got bags full of flavour, character, and robustness. And that floppy bit on the fringe has got a bit of a curl, Maximo Park curl going on. I don't care. I'm metamorphosising in front of you as I'm reviewing this beer. I think it's clear that I've not had anything to eat today because I am getting a little bit rowdy. But anyway, yeah, I know it's been a bit of a long review. Shock horror. But yeah, that's beautiful stuff. 10 out of 10. I can't fault it. I'm enjoying it way too much. The only way it would lose points is if I had about 10 other milds and I was drinking them all, comparing them all. That's the only way that beer would probably lose marks. But Torrside, best beer of the bunch this week. And yeah, one that I would definitely pick up again. And Harry from Blue Nose Breweries, if you're watching this, try and source yourself a bottle of that, bud. And you too, Dean. Don't know why I said that in an angry way, but check that beer out because it's absolutely lovely. And Paul, I'll get you a bottle. Anyway, so if you've tried this, so let me know your thoughts and opinions. Are you a fan of Torrside? Are you a fan of milds? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, go check out the brewery. And I've had to do this for every review now. Also, check out Emma Sidwell because their artwork it's really nice. I mean, yeah, the labels themselves, I'm not going to lie, could probably do with a bit of an upgrade. But keep her work if you ever do. But yeah, just lovely stuff. It reminds me of like, what is it? Was it called Monkey Dust? That BBC, was it BBC 2 or BBC 3? Like really bleak cartoon that they had. It reminds me of stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and almost like stuff you'd see on like Newgrounds, where it was all like hand drawn and like the stuff like Salad Fingers, although nowhere near as like grotesque or obscure. But yeah, there's this like, I don't know what you class it as, but there was this like art form in the late 90s, early 2000s, web based, but still hand illustrated. That was just so satisfying. It was bleak even when it wasn't supposed to be, and it was fun at the same time. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut this video off short and conclude this horrific live review that I'm doing as well. But yeah, I've enjoyed revisiting beers from Torrside, and you can mark my words that I will be drinking more of their beers in the future. And go check them out if you haven't done so already. Stop overlooking this brewery because they're doing some absolutely wonderful stuff. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.